Question 6 on homework test number 3 says, in line 55, charge most nearly means. So we talked about vocab questions before. You usually see about 2 per passage, and they are typically talking about easier words, but not looking at the most straightforward, simple definitions that we're all used to seeing. So I'm looking at some of my options here, and it's almost never going to be attack or fee or expense, just because that's what a charge usually is. But I'm not feeling so brave that I'm not going to look at the context. Let's go do that like you always should. And remember, just because they say it's on line 55 doesn't mean we should look elsewhere if we feel like we are not getting enough information. Let's start at the top of the paragraph here. So it says, during the drive to the Corboral mansion, Lady Carlotta was impressively introduced to the nature of the charge that had been thrust upon her. She learned about the students that she would be tutoring and living in, and she has some observations about them. Great. So one way you can always attack vocab questions is simple substitution, plugging in that word, that option for charge, and seeing if it works. So I could say choice A was responsibility. Lady Carlotta was impressively introduced to the nature of the responsibility that had been thrust upon her. And I really like the word thrust here. Lady Carlotta didn't exactly choose this, right? It's being pushed upon her, this responsibility of taking care of these kids. So it kind of fits. Fee. Lady Carlotta was impressively introduced to the nature of the fee that had been thrust upon her. It doesn't appear that she's being charged money for anything. In fact, this is a job. I assume she's going to be paid for it. Fee doesn't seem to quite work. So I got rid of that. Choice C, jumped ahead just a wee bit there. And I think choice D, expense, same idea. Let's go look at attack. Let's go see how attack works. I hope she's not attacking these kids, but we'll see. During the drive to the Corboral mansion, Lady Carlotta was impressively introduced to the nature of the attack that had been thrust upon her. Okay, well, thrusting an attack, maybe it's some sort of hill charge. I don't know, it's the right time period for it. But no, she's talking with the governess, or Miss Corboral, and she's figuring out what her job is. It's not a attack. You can see all of our options folded pretty quickly once we substituted them, and we even knew that beforehand because we didn't expect them to be this, because it's usually what charge means, these options. It was almost always going to be responsibility, but it's good to check.